Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, all. So, in the last class, we discussed about the indicators. What type of indicators? It is natural or synthetic indicators? Natural indicators. And here we are doing some activities regarding with this natural indicators such as turmeric and all. And what are the natural indicators that we are discussed here? Three types of natural indicators.
Ma'am, litmus
Indicator,
turmeric
and China rose indicator.
Okay, very good. Litmus paper, China rose, and turmeric indicators. Okay, so let us assess what about their change when we are test these indicators with the acidic and basic substances. For example, if we are using a litmus paper, and if I dip the litmus paper in acidic solution, what is the color change? We have two type of litmus papers are there, blue litmus and red litmus. Okay, suppose you just imagine if I take a blue litmus paper and I dip this blue litmus paper in an acidic solution, what color change that you are observe?
Ma'am, the litmus paper will turn red.
Very good. It will turns into red. Now the same blue litmus paper I dip in a base solution. What color change that we will observe?
There will be no color change.
There will be no color change. Very good. There will be no color change. Now, instead of this blue litmus paper, suppose if I take a red litmus paper. Okay. Then again, I dip the red litmus paper in an acidic solution. What color change you occurs?
There won't be any color change.
There's no color
No
change.
color change. If a red litmus paper is dipped in an acidic solution, no color change will occur. Okay. Now, if the red litmus paper is dipped in a basic solution, what happens?
Turn blue in color.
It will turn blue. Very good. The red litmus paper turns into blue color when we are dipped in a basic solution. Good. So that's all about the litmus paper. And litmus paper is a natural indicator that we are obtained from where?
Lichens.
Is obtained from lichens. Then we discuss about the turmeric indicator. Okay. What about the effect of turmeric indicator when it is dipped in an acidic solution?
There won't be any color change.
There will be no color change. No color change. Okay. If the turmeric indicator is dipped in an acidic solution, there will be no color change.
No color change.
Okay. Now, if the turmeric indicator is dipped in a basic solution, what happens?
It turns
Changes
red.
red in color.
Very good. It turns into red color. So for example, if you are dipped the turmeric paper is dipped in a soap solution, we know that soap solution is a very good example for the basic solution. It turns the turmeric paper into red color. Okay, very good.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, you told to make a turmeric litmus paper with turmeric, right?
Yes. Yes, Adidev.
Ma'am, you told to make a paper.
Yes. Did you make it? Prepare it.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, when I dipped in lime water, there is no color change. And soap solution.
In soap solution, there will be no color change occurs to which turmeric?
Yes, ma'am.
No color change occurs.
No. When I dip this.
When you dip this turmeric dipped into the soap solution, no color changes occurs.
No.
No, there should be a color change. It turns into red. We are already performed the activity here in this class.
But it is not changing.
Okay, did you prepare the two sides of the paper you are added with this turmeric paste?
Only one side. Yeah.
Add the both sides. And not only in both sides or single side, no problem. It will be must be change the color. What about others? Did you prepare the turmeric indicators and test it? Adishwar?
And there's no color change.
No color change when you are dip the turmeric paper into the soap solution.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it changed.
It's changed, surely changed. So it's a homework to all the other students. Please prepare a turmeric indicator and to try to dip. It is very easy to prepare a turmeric indicator. You just prepare a turmeric paste and paste it on the two sides of a sheet of paper and then dip it in the, allow them to dry. Allow the paper into dry for 15 or 20 minutes. Okay. Then after that, you just dip it in the soap solution. You can see the color change. The turmeric indicator will turn into red. It indicates the presence of basic solution. Okay. If any content of acidic is there, then it will not be shown any kind of color change. Otherwise, it surely shows the turmeric paper is turns into red. Then the third type of indicator that we are discussing here is China rose. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So if we are add the China rose solution into acidic, or if acid solution is added to China rose solution, China rose indicator, what color changes occurs?
It turns
Dark
into dark pink or magenta.
Pink
Yes.
or
In the case of China
pink or
rose,
pear.
in the case of China rose, if it is an acidic solution, the red colored China rose turns into dark pink or magenta. Okay. So that is what is we discussed in the last class. China rose. China rose indicator. What is the original color of initial color of the China rose? Initial color?
Maroon.
Maroon.
Yeah, it is maroon or red. Maroon or red. Okay. If it is acid, what is the color change occurs? Maroon turns into
Dark pink or
Dark pink
magenta.
or
Dark
magenta.
pink or magenta.
dark pink or magenta. Dark pink or magenta. Okay. Now, if it is base,
It turns into green color.
yes, it turns into green color. If it is a base solution, the China rose indicator, which is initially maroon or red in color, it turns into green color. Okay, in the case of China rose, you just allow the solution for 5 to 10 minutes. Then only you can clearly visible the color change. But in the case of turmeric indicator, a sudden color change will be occurs, as we are observed in the class while performing that activity using the turmeric indicator. In the case of China rose indicator, you just allow the solution for 10 to 15 minutes. Then only you get the clear color that about the dark pink or the green. Okay. So that's all about the 3 natural indicators. So today we are moving to the next topic, that is acid rain. Have you heard about acid rain?
No.
We are familiar with the rain, right? We are always.
Yes.
Are you like rain?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Most of them are like, but whenever the time you are going to school, it becomes very difficulty and distraction towards us. Anyway, today we are going to discuss about acid rain. So, as its name implies, if the rain contains excess amount of acids, then we can call it as acid rain. So let us see what you mean by acid rain. Okay, acid rain. When the rainwater has increase means excess amount of acids in it, it is called acid rain. The rainwater with increased amount of acids. Yes?
Ma'am, is it harmful for us?
Yes, of course, surely it is harmful for us. Because so many, actually it is mainly cause damages to the buildings.
Ma'am,
Okay.
can you underline the part which we should write?
Yes, the rainwater has increased. The first one is the definition for acid rain. So you must need to copy down that point. Acid rain. What is the definition for acid rain? When the rainwater has increased amount of acids in it, then we can call such rainwaters or rain as acid rain. It is harmful. It is harmful to human beings, not only human beings. It is also causes some damages to our buildings also. Have you heard about Taj Mahal?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so nowadays there are some damages are caused to this Taj Mahal due to this acid rain. Its color changes. What about the color of Taj Mahal initially?
Ma'am, white.
It's actually in white in color. It's a white marbles. It is constructed with white marbles, but due to this acid rain, some reports are the color change occurs. It turns into a pale yellow color and all. It is because of the acid rain.
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, finish.
Now the second point, they are describe how this acid rain is occurs. The acid rain is formed because of the presence of air pollutants. So there are so many pollutants are there present in air in the form of nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide. Okay, so this nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide present in the air responsible for the occurrence of acid rain. Acid rain is occurs mainly due to air pollutants. Acid rain is occurs due to air pollutants. And what are the air pollutants present in air? Nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide.
Ma'am, we can write these notes.
Ah, yes. I will send it in the PDF form. So you just note down the names of pollutants present in the air. The pollutants present in the air are nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and carbon dioxide. Here also you can see a note too. Similarly, one more pollutant is present in the air, that is carbon dioxide. Pollutants present in the air responsible for this acid rain. So what are that pollutants? They are nitrogen dioxide. We have
Nitrogen dioxide, carbon
Nitrogen
dioxide,
dioxide, carbon
and
dioxide,
sulfur dioxide,
yes, nitrogen dioxide,
carbon dioxide,
carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide.
sulfur dioxide.
These are the three pollutants present in the air, which is mainly responsible for the occurrence of acid rain. Actually, this nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere due to some man-made resources, man-made sources. Actually, when from the industries, they are get outside in the form of some kind of raw materials, waste products. This things like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, and carbon dioxide is escaped into the air, and they are present in the form of pollutants. And these pollutants are responsible for the acid rain. And how they cause the acid rain? These pollutants, that is nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide, it is mixed with the rainwater. It is mixed with our rainwater and form acids. Actually, these pollutants mix with the rainwater. Whenever the pollutants mix with the rainwater, they form their respective acids. That is, nitrogen dioxide mixed with the rainwater and form which acid? Nitric acid.
Nitric acid.
Similarly, sulfur dioxide is mixed with the rainwater and form
Sulfuric acid.
sulfuric acid. Similarly, carbon dioxide is mixed with water and form carbonic acid. Carbonic acid. So this is how the acids are formed. So their respective oxides are combined with that of the rainwater. Carbon dioxide combined with rainwater form carbonic acid. Nitrogen dioxide combined with the water form nitric acid. Similarly, sulfur dioxide combined with water form
Sulfuric acid.
sulfuric acid. Okay, all these acids are cause damages to buildings, not only to buildings, even though the vegetation, animal life, and even the buildings. The acid rain in severely affect the vegetation, animal life, and even the building of the region where it falls.
Ma'am, when acid rain come in contact with human skin, will it cause any damage?
Ah, yes, of course, it causes damages. Whenever this acid rain is come in contact with us, it causes damages. Surely it causes damages. So as a result of this industry, the waste products like nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide are escaped out, and from natural sources also. Whenever some kind of forest fires or occurs, nitrogen dioxide is releases out. Yes.
Ma'am, I am not writing this in the lecture note. I am marking it in the textbook.
Okay, no problem.
Ma'am, we can write the second paragraph.
No. You just try to understand now. I will send the note, then you can write, copy down into your lecture note and study it. But you must study all these points for the next class. You must kept all these points in your, store it in your brain. Understand all these center phenomenon and try to answer my questions in our next class.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is what is about the acid rain, and here you can see the image, the formation of acid rain. So the nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide from the industries that is releases out, and these pollutants are moves and it is combines with that of the rainwater, pollutants in cloud water and precipitation. So whenever these pollutants are combined with that of the rainwater, what happens? Corresponding acids are generated. For carbon dioxide is combined with rainwater, it generates which acid?
Carbonic acid.
Carbonic acid. Similarly, sulfur dioxide from the atmosphere is reaches and it is combined with the rainwater. It gives rise to sulfuric acid. Similarly, the nitrogen dioxide from the air is combined with the rainwater and form nitric acid. Okay. So whenever the rainwater comes, it is affect the wet deposition. It can affect the vegetation, animal life, even the buildings also. Is it over?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Now we are going to the next topic, that is pH scale. Have you heard about the term pH scale?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What is the use of this pH scale?
I have not said.
Actually, the pH scale is a measure of acidity and basicity of a substance. Okay, so depending upon the pH value, we can say whether a substance is acidic or basic in nature. So what do you mean by pH scale? It is a measure of acidity or basic nature of a substance. Acidity or basic nature of a substance. The measure of acidity or basic nature of a substance is known as pH value or pH scale. The pH value range from 1 to 14, with 1 being the most acid substance and 14 being the most basic substance. The pH scale, just like our meter scale, we have a paper strip with a range of values that is ranging from 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. up to where? Up to 14.
14.
Okay. So, and here in middle we have 7. The number is 7. So if the value is below 7, it indicates acid. Acidic. Very good. If the value is greater than 7, it indicates
Base.
the solution is base or basic in nature. If the value is 7, then it indicates
Neutral.
I will show this pH scale or pH paper in the next slide. The pH value is range from 1 to 14. 1 to 14. From 1 to 7, it shows acidic nature. From 7 to 14, it shows basic nature. And 7 indicates the neutral substance. And the pH value of a substance is generally measured with the help of pH strips or solution. pH solutions or pH strips are available. Okay, so you just kept this point in your mind, pH scale. You will be studying this topic in your higher classes. Whenever you study about the acid and bases in 9th or 10th chemistry, you may be studying about this topic. So you just kept this point in your mind. What do you mean by pH scale? Now it's not a new term for you. pH scale is a measure of acidity and basic nature, acid nature and basic nature of an substance. And we have a pH scale or pH strip is available. Its ranges is from 1 to 14. If the range is from 1 to 7, we can say that the object is or the substance is If the range is from 1 to 7, it is shows if the substance is
Neutral.
1 to 7. 1 to
Acidic.
7.
It's acid.
It is acidic. From 7 to 14, it shows
Basic.
basic. And if the pH value is equal to 7, it shows neutral. Okay. So once again, I will give a conclusion. If the pH value ranges from 1 to 7, it is acid. My God, where is the board? So pH value, once again, pH value 1 to 7. The range is from 1 to 7. It is acidic. Acidic in nature. If it is 7,
Neutral.
neutral. And if the pH value is ranges from 7 to 14, then it is
Basic.
basic. So this is an extra information for you. It is helpful for your higher classes. Okay, so whenever you study this pH value in higher classes, you just remember me. We already studied or discussed it in the 7th grade. Okay, acidic, neutral, and basic. So pH value is a measurement of acidic and basic nature of the substances. Now I will show that pH paper or pH strip to you. This is the way the pH paper or pH strips looks like. The values are ranges from, actually it is noted from 0. So actually it is started from 1 to 14. And here you can see the values varies from 1 to 7. It indicates the acidic. 1 to 7 it is acidic. 7 to 14 it is
Basic.
basic. The basic solution is also known as
Alkaline.
alkalis. That is why they are marked it as alkaline, alkali. Okay. And the value 7 indicates
Neutral.
neutral. So from this, based on this pH paper, try to identify the tomato juice, whether it is acidic or basic.
Acidic.
Acidic.
Okay. What is the pH value of tomato juice?
4.
4. Very good. Very good. And what about the handmade soap? Handmade soap, whether it is acidic or basic?
Basic.
What about its pH value?
9 or 10.
Yes, between 9 or 10, or we can say it is 10. 10 is the pH value of handmade soap. And what do you think the black coffee, whether it is acidic or basic?
Acidic.
Acidic. Actually, the black coffee is acidic. Its pH value is 5. What about our milk?
Acidic.
It is also acidic. pH value of milk is 6. And can you name the acid present in our milk? Forgot. Name the acid that is present in milk.
Lactic acid.
Lactic acid.
Lactic
Lactic acid. Lactic acid. Okay, milk is an acidic substance. The lactic acid is present inside the milk. And here one example for neutral solution. What is that? Distilled water. Distilled water is a neutral solution. Its pH is equal to 7. pH value is 7. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So now one question. Acids are never stored in metal containers. Why? Why the acids are never stored in metal containers? Yes. Have you ever observed the storage of these acids? Where these acids are stored?
Glass containers.
They are stored under the glass containers. Why it is not stored inside this metal plates or metal cans and all?
They react with almost every metal and then produces salt.
They produce a salt, and as a result, the metal cans are started to rusting. Have you ever observed the rusting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, brown colored substance is formed on the sides of the metal cans. So that's why we are not store these acids in metal containers. Okay, write the answers. Acids are never stored in metal containers. The reason is they are rather stored in glass containers. Actually, the acids are stored in glass containers because acids are generally reactive in nature. They are very reactive in nature. So if we keep them in metal containers, they may react with the metal and erode them. Erode them means rust them. Glass, on the other hand, does not react with the acid. The glass containers or the glass materials doesn't react with that of the acid. But in the case of metal, the metal containers is vigorously or very quickly react with that of the acids.
Ma'am, did you take the attendance?
Yeah, after 5 minutes we can take.
Okay, ma'am.
So when the acids are react with the metal, gradually the acids are destroy the metal containers. Gradually it is destroy them, rust them. So that is what is meant by the term erode. Erode. The exact meaning, gradually destroy them. Glass, on the other hand, does not react with the acids. Is it over?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now write the next topic. We can discuss it in the next class anyway. We just write the heading. Neutralization. Yes.
Attendance.
Okay, I will
Ma'am,
take it.
attendance.
1 minute. Write the heading. Neutralization. Neutralization. Okay, children, let me take your attendance.